Everyone has done it before. You go and check the review before buying something or going somewhere. 4.6 stars. That's fantastic. But can you actually trust these reviews? That's the topic of today's video. Last year I bought a Chinese desk chair for $140. On Trustpilot it had a rating of 4.6 stars, but the gas lift died within 3 weeks. So I left a 1-star review and 4 sentences describing exactly what broke. 2 days later I get an email. They were very sorry. They would send me a replacement free, no return needed. All they asked for was that I delete or update my review. I said no. So the offer got even better. A replacement and a discount code. And I said no again. Then I sat there questioning reality and thinking about the other 800 people that left the review and how many of them had gotten the same email and said yes. And the problem is that almost nobody can tell apart the real reviews from the fake reviews, which makes it so hard to trust these review websites, which is the reason why I went down this rabbit hole of fake reviews. There are hundreds of thousands of fake reviews on Trustpilot. It took me only 5 minutes to find the fake review market. Facebook groups with thousands of members or websites selling packages with drip schedules so the reviews trickle in slowly enough to look organic. The one thing making it all worse, artificial intelligence. With AI, reviews can be written in your language, mentioning the product by name with one small complaint built in so it sounds like a real person. And this whole process of faking reviews can be even automated with it. Now, Trustpilot does fight this, and they publish the numbers, which I'll give them credit for. According to the 2025 Trust Report, in 2024, they removed 4.5 million fake reviews. 90% of those were caught automatically before anyone read them. Doesn't sound too bad, but let's take a closer look at what that number actually measures. 4.5 million is 7.4% of every review submitted that year. It does not measure how clean the website overall is. It basically doesn't show us how many fake reviews are still standing. These fake reviews, in the combination of the case where the Chinese chair company tried to pay me off, are clearly against Trustpilot guidelines. Paying off the customer is not allowed, according to them, even though it still happens a lot. They, for example, explicitly state that businesses should not offer an incentive or price linked to leaving a review. But what if you pay off the staff? A while back, a delivery driver handed me a card with his name written on it. He explained, friendly, no pressure, that he gets a $20 bonus for every 5-star review that mentions him by name. My delivery, however, had been 3 days late and the box was open at one corner. I still gave a 5-star review to the company with his name in it, so later on I deleted it and then knew exactly what I was doing while I typed it. I wasn't confused, I just didn't want to take $20 out of a stranger's pocket over a dented box. And this abuse of your own emotional empathy is exactly the trick. The company doesn't have to bribe you for the review, instead it gives a bonus to an employee, and this very employee does the asking, standing in your hallway, holding your packet. It cost them $20 and it works almost every single time. And I wasn't the only one experiencing that. After doing some research, I could find many other reviews mentioning an employee's name, and therefore also their emotional empathy being abused. The 2 delivery drivers, Hoff and Lei, were friendly and professional. David and Manson were flexible with the delivery arrangement.
Eric, I've just delivered my unit for the
great
great
delivery drivers, Hoff and Lei, were friendly and professional.
communicated, timely, and very helpful.
And both of these problems get a lot easier if you're paying money to Trustpilot. Trustpilot sells businesses a monthly subscription, and one of the things it unlocks is a contact information, which means a company can reach the person who left the bad review directly and take it from there. You already know how the conversation goes because I got that email. Another feature is flagging, where you can basically flag comments as fake. That's technically free. Anyone with a Trustpilot business account can do it. But there is a huge difference between a button existing and someone on the other end actually acting on it. Your flags are mainly only taken seriously if you are a paying subscriber. One Reddit comment put it better than I can. Trustpilot isn't a review site, it's a protection racket for fake reviews. And flagging is an even stronger weapon than it sounds. Businesses can actually take down negative Trustpilot reviews by claiming you weren't a customer and flagging your review. Within 72 hours, you have to provide evidence that you actually were a customer, otherwise the review gets deleted. The whole system, however, runs on you not noticing or not bothering to dig out a receipt from 2 months ago. Then there's also the invite feature, which is also paid, at least for a massively increased amount of invites, which lets the company choose exactly who gets asked for a review and when, which is how you end up with a platform that works beautifully for businesses with something to hide. If you want to see what it looks like at full scale, internet anarchists covered a case like this in detail. Definitely worth watching, and the link is in the description. Now, I'm not going to pretend the whole thing is worthless, because that's not true either. Many reviews on there are real. They do remove millions of fakes and the detection genuinely has gotten better. But still, you have to be careful and look at every review with suspicion. What I, for example, do is I ignore the score because the 4.6 is the number everyone is working on. So instead I read the 1 and 2 star reviews first, and only the ones that describe a specific failure, ideally with a photo. Then I go back to the 5-star reviews and stay even more suspicious. If they all arrive within the same 2 weeks, do they name an employee? And then the most important thing, I cross-check somewhere else entirely. YouTube, Google, Reddit. Faking reviews on one platform is relatively cheap, but faking them on multiple is work. Trustpilot's whole name is a promise. Trust Trustpilot, something to steer by when you're about to spend money. So can you trust it? I can't anymore because it's so easy to gain. In my opinion, it shouldn't ever be the only thing you check before spending money. So next time you're about to spend money you can't spare, what are you going to read first?